When one person, when a few stand with the courage, that is the courage exhibited by the leaders in this room every day, to stand, to have the courage to say, I feel fear. The courage to say what is happening is wrong. The courage to say that there is a way that we must chart to get through this. Understanding our power in the democracy we still have if we hold on to it. Courage is contagious.
What could have been, everyone? What could have been? That, of course, was former Vice President Kamala Harris speaking at a summit of women leaders earlier this evening. It's one of the first times we've seen her speak out since her November election loss. She hasn't been out there a ton. We'll see if she comes out more. She also spoke about the current state of fear in our country.
We are seeing organizations stay quiet. We are seeing those who are capitulating to clearly unconstitutional threats. And these are the things that we are witnessing each day in these last few months in our country. And it understandably creates a great sense of fear. Because, you know, there were many things that we knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here, so I told you so.
First of all, she predicted a lot of these things that were going to happen, and many people are definitely scared. We see that out there. But we're also seeing that people are going out in full force to resist, with mass mobilization across the country, including a huge nationwide rally called Hands Off, plans on Saturday. And joining me now is one of the people headlining the rally in D.C., Congressman Jamie Raskin, who is, of course, a Democrat of Maryland, also ranking member of the Judiciary Committee. Congressman, it's great to see you. First, it's been a pretty good week for Democrats, I think. A week where people saw lots of candidates announce they were going to run. You saw Senator Booker do an overnight inspiring moment on the floor. Lots of good things happening in Wisconsin. And you're going to be the headline speaker for the Hands Off rally, as I mentioned, in D.C., with an expected attendance of 12,500 people. We'll see. Where do you see this mobilization effort against the Trump administration policies at this moment?
Well, you know, I was telling everybody back when people were complaining about where's the Democratic leadership, where's the energy, where's the focus, that it takes a while to fully absorb the shock of these events. I mean, we're talking about a full-blown attempt at an authoritarian takeover of our country and a purge of federal workers, and we're being hit on all fronts. But now everybody is in a fighting mood. I am down here in Orlando, Florida, with my buddy Maxwell Frost. He just kicked off his year-long organizing program, and, you know, he's the co-chair of Democracy Summer. We're going to be announcing Democracy Summer. We're hoping to have more than 1,000 young people across the country working full-time on Democratic campaigns and studying with great Democratic heroes of the past. The energy is extraordinary. It's astounding. What is this, a Thursday night? There were, I don't know, 350 people just packed in the firefighters hall, and lots of people couldn't get in. Everywhere, all over America, people understand the stakes now. The entire country, as we know it, is on the line with these people, and they are in a full-blown effort to turn the government into a gangster state. And Donald Trump is doing everything in his power to disable the crime and corruption fighting capacity of the FBI and the Department of Justice, so he can just use it to go after his political adversaries. But meantime, you know, the real corruption is just running amok, and these people are not opponents of corruption, waste, fraud, and abuse, as they keep saying. They are agents of corruption and instruments of waste and fraud throughout the government.
It's interesting. I mean, you and I have talked about, and you've done town halls in red districts nearby. That's something that's happening. We've seen tens of thousands of people show up at rallies. Obviously, this Saturday will be something. The Senator Booker's evening on Monday night, really inspiring evening, I think is one of the first moments that people felt like, oh, there's something really amazing happening in Washington, D.C., or a lot of people saw it, which is a good thing. And you're doing something I think is also really interesting. You and your former House colleague, Senator Adam Schiff, now in the Senate, of course, you're planning a shadow hearing to speak with DOJ lawyers who are pressured to leave or fired by the Trump administration. Tell me more about who you're going to be speaking to. What do you hope people will hear? And help everybody may know what a shadow hearing is, but help them understand that too, just in case.
Well, it's a shadow hearing only because the Republicans won't do it. They won't have a hearing on the people who are standing up against this reign of error and reign of terror that we're experiencing. So one of our witnesses is Ryan Crosswell, who was an attorney in the Office of Public Integrity at the Department of Justice. And you remember how the very conservative U.S. attorney for the Southern District, Danielle Sassoon, said no way, nothing had changed in the facts of Mayor Adams's case, nothing had changed in the evidence or the law, and she was not going to go along with instructions from the central headquarters in D.C. to destroy the grand jury indictment. So she resigned. Then her top deputy resigned. Remember, he said you'd have to be I think he said a coward or a fool to go along with this. He was also active in the Federalist Society and had clerked for a conservative Supreme Court justice. Well, this guy, Ryan Crosswell, will be the first person to speak about having also resigned. He was in that group of 7 lawyers who left their jobs rather than participate in that fraud against justice because the grand jury found that there was probable cause to indict Mayor Adams for bribery and other corruption charges, and it was being dropped just in an unprecedented and deeply corrupt way because he had agreed to join Donald Trump's political team. So he's one. Another is Liz Oyer, who was the U.S. pardon attorney. She refused to go along with a completely corrupt and baseless attempt to pardon Mel Gibson and to restore his gun rights. She thought that, well, we'll hear from her about why she did that. I'm very fascinated to hear what exactly she's going to say. I'm very excited to see another witness whose name is Rachel Cohen, who was an associate at the prominent and once luminous but now totally tarnished law firm Skadden Arps. And she wrote a letter basically saying that the law firms and lawyers have got to stand up for the rule of law as officers of the court, as people pledge to the Constitution, and not cave under to Donald Trump's humiliating pressure and agree to do, millions of dollars worth of pro bono work for his pet right-wing causes, thereby completely changing the nature of those law firms. And I think hundreds of other legal associates at those big firms signed on to say, look, we had signed on because we wanted to learn to become great lawyers and to stand for the best values of the profession, but not to cave under and to capitulate and appease people who are promoting a totally authoritarian program and steamrolling the First Amendment, equal protection, due process rights, as we see with immigrants, college kids, people speaking out. So anyway, these are all people who are standing up at this moment, and we wanted to highlight them. Of course, the Republicans want to do it, so we're doing an alternative shadow hearing with the Democratic members.
Which I think is great. It's easy for people to move on from these stories, too. All of them sound fascinating. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for appearing with me tonight, making the time. Really appreciate it.